There was a White House reception to celebrate the Muslim holiday of Eid al-Fitr yesterday, which marked the end of Ramadan last month, where President Biden addressed the issue of Islamophobia in the United States.
And we're determined to confront all forms of hate, including Islamophobia, which is important to me. This is a priority for my administration.
Those words may have had a special resonance for one of the people in that audience, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar of Minnesota. Her district includes the city of Minneapolis, where there has been a string of recent attacks on the Muslim community. Just over a week ago, a man was caught setting a fire in the bathroom of a mosque. He got away. Then the very next evening, there was another fire in another mosque in that city. This time it was a bigger blaze that caused extensive damage and forced an evacuation of about 40 children who were inside when it started. Now, federal agents have arrested 36-year-old Jackie Little, who they say was caught on surveillance video entering the first mosque, and also seen the next day on a bus to the second mosque before the fire there. Little is charged with arson, and he's also a suspect in several other crimes against Muslims. Surveillance video in January appears to show him shoplifting spray paint before going on to the office of Congresswoman Ilhan Omar herself and spray painting the number 500 on her office door. He's also suspected of spray painting the same thing on the patrol car of a Somali police officer and at a local marketplace frequented by the city's Somali community. Federal agents say they don't know the significance of the number 500. But what is significant is that Muslim communities across this country remain vulnerable to vicious and violent Islamophobic attacks. Joining me now is Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, Democrat of Minnesota. Congresswoman, thanks for joining me on the show tonight. How has the Muslim community in Minneapolis been affected by these arson attacks at mosques and other crimes targeting you and members of the Somali community?
They're incredibly impacted. Many of them are on edge. They're fearful. They're shocked that there hasn't been denunciation of anti-Muslim violence by many. They are in shock that somebody could set two masjids on fire and there isn't a lot more being done. But the reality, Mehdi, is that when the Muslim community is under attack, we often see people minimize that attack. And many of us have been living in an environment where we know our lives are at risk, that we are vulnerable to attacks from hateful people who hate us because of our faith or countries of origin. And, the general public is not going to be as concerned as they are when other faith groups are attacked.
And Congresswoman, do we know yet if authorities are treating these incidents in Minneapolis as hate crimes?
We do not know yet. What we've been told is that there are more charges to come. This man is charged now with arson for the two fires. They are going to charge him for vandalizing my office, for vandalizing the cop car of the Somali police officer. And there might be other incidents that we don't know yet that might be linked to him as well.
And Congresswoman, we know that anti-Muslim attacks spiked when Donald Trump was president. He's a man who was elected on his promise to ban Muslims. But even in 2021, after he left office, new FBI figures show an 11.6% increase in hate crimes in the United States. A proportion of that, obviously, anti-Muslim hate crimes. President Biden said yesterday he's determined to confront Islamophobia. But is his administration, is the U.S. government at a federal and state level doing enough, in your view, to combat anti-Muslim hate crimes?
So this is something that we've been calling for the administration to address for a while. I actually was talking about this maybe a couple of months ago on the need for the administration to be more forceful and loud in their advocacy for wanting to protect the Muslim community against these kind of violent attacks that we all experience. I am glad to hear the president's announcement. It certainly was welcomed, and it was a sense of relief for a lot of us. the fact that there is a task force looking to address anti-Muslim hate is also welcoming. We are going to continue to make sure the administration takes anti-Muslim hate and violence as seriously as it does other attacks on other faith groups as well.